Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my Ask Me Anything campaign. Today's question came in from someone who asked to remain anonymous, but asked me, Jill, in your 21 years of being a head of HR, what was your very favorite interview question to ask people? Well, I'm willing to tell my big secret, but my very favorite question to ask everybody at the end of an interview was, I believe that everyone has their own story. And it could be something that happened to you when you were a little child, or something that happened when you were in grade school, or high school, or college, or even after college. But this is a story that would capture for me, in just a couple of minutes, really who you are as a person. So tell me, candidate, what is your story? Well, as you can imagine, when I ask people this question, most people have a look on their face that is just glazed over like a deer in headlights. But when I ask this question, I'm of course asking because I really want to know something from the inside of the candidate, really hoping that the person is willing to share with me something about him or her that will tell me what this person is really made of. And I decided that today I'm going to tell you my story. So my story happened when I was 8 years old. It was the very first play that I was in. It was actually Peter Pan, and I was playing the role of Wendy. So if you've ever seen the show or if you know the story, Wendy was the sister and Wendy was taking care of the lost boys in the story. And at some point during the play, there was a little child in the show who was 4 years old, and it was her role to shoot an arrow. And the arrow was supposed to go from on stage where this little girl was to off stage where I was standing as Wendy. And I was supposed to pick up the arrow and I was supposed to attach it to my costume and then come out as though the arrow had hit me in the chest and pretend that I was dead. Well, this little girl was standing in the middle of the stage in front of the entire audience on the day of the show, and she pulled back and she shot the arrow, and it did not go really anywhere. It went about a foot, and it didn't go off the stage at all, and the audience went silent, and everybody on the stage went silent, and it was pretty stressful. And I was 8 years old, and I looked around and I saw what was going on. And I don't know how or why, and nobody told me what to do, but I ran out onto the stage and I picked up the arrow and I hit myself with it in the chest and I affixed it to the part on my chest where it was supposed to be. And then I went like this and I pretended to be hit by the arrow and I fell on the ground. And at that moment, the audience stood up and they all started to clap. And that is my story. And so my question for you today is A, what is your story? And B, what did you get from my story? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much.